Hey y'all, welcome back to Neon's Movie Reviews. I'm Neon, this is my buddy Nate,
What's up?
and today we are talking about Color Out of Space. Before I dive into this though, we are in the final stretch of the Summer of Nic Cage. It's got about a week of content left, but if you want to be notified of the releases, go ahead and subscribe and hit the little bell in the corner if you want to actually get a notification. But what were you expecting going into this?
Mandy.
Straight up, you were expecting.
I'm like, am I just gonna get like a? Because I'm both familiar with and like the source material that it's loosely based on.
Mm-hmm.
But I was kind of expecting like, is this gonna be just like a Mandy version of that story?
Oh no.
It
It was out there, but appropriately.
was a Signs version with the Thing elements.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I got, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And I like the little hints as well of the larger world, but yeah, I was very excited about this one, mostly because of the film that the director didn't get to make. He previously was attached to Island of Dr. Moreau, wrote the script, got the studio to decide to do this, was directing it, got Marlon Brando involved, and Marlon Brando decided to start making creative choices with the script, and
As he is wont to do.
mm-hmm. And the director basically was just like, well, no, I'm not making these changes. This is ridiculous. This is going to just destroy the story. And so the studio fired the director, Richard Stanley, and then brought in another director to finish it, and basically just gave in to Marlon Brando's wishes. And a couple of weeks after that, like, Marlon Brando left the project as well.
And some bad things happen for Mr. Val Kilmer.
Yeah, and then Val Kilmer was, of fucking cursed production. But yeah, Val Kilmer, he,
Receive some bad news.
that's right. His wife, she was like on some television news interview program, and on there is where she announced that she was talking to divorce lawyers, and he knew nothing about this, and yeah, so
Through the public media is always the best way to find out bad news.
mm-hmm. So he's trying to leave the production, and they won't let him, and so he's just giving
Almost
the worst.
physically.
He's giving the worst fucking performance he can to try to get fired, and yeah. So that was
So
that was
what
the
can
island.
you really do when you're given a cast and a story,
Yeah.
where people are actually going to come to work
And
enjoy
you're
your project.
and you're in control of it from beginning to end. It was really, really good. I was very impressed. It was a little trippy, which it's expected. But there was a couple parts that I took some issues with, but overall, I pretty much enjoyed it.
For instance, what were some parts that you took instance with?
Mostly the Tommy Chong sequence.
All of his scenes?
More the end stuff with him. I'm fine with him.
Being the squatter out there, that the hydrol is just
Yeah.
one of the speakers.
I'm fine with that, and I'm fine with the final scene where he's already dead and like explodes and all that kind of stuff. And then, but it's that prior scene where the kid like goes to see him and he's obviously weird.
Oh yeah.
And that's where I was just like, Tommy was not the best choice for this role.
I just wrote it off as the madness setting in.
I can say that.
I I'm like, he's not playing a stoner right now. He's playing somebody who's literally gone mad. It's that
True.
Lovecraftian.
True.
You as the victim are even more horrified than the observer because you're living this reality. You know, like, you're going, like, am I crazy? Are these things, am I really seeing these things?
Mm-hmm.
Or am I insane? You know, like, some of the things that these people experience, like, you're honestly just like, this literally cannot be happening. Like,
I love the trees.
The trees that snatch people up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just, like, even before that, I just loved seeing them, like, move and stuff like that. I was just like, oh, that's really cool.
I liked as soon as the flowers showed up.
Mm-hmm. And then you get the little praying mantis thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
that reappeared at the very end.
Mm-hmm. That was nice. And then you have the cat. And that was not so nice. That thing looks fucked up. And then you have the...
llamas? Or alpacas?
Alpacas, that's right. Yeah. And...
the mom-son hybrid.
Mom-son hybrid was a good effect.
When they were on the couch, it's both a good effect, and I was genuinely disturbed.
Right?
I was just like, oh.
Well, and they...
oh, like...
and they didn't show it for a long enough time, too, so you were kind of just like, okay, alright, they're not showing it for a while, probably because it doesn't look good. And so you're kind of building that up in your head so that they're just going to hide it because it's not going to be that convincing. So it's going to be these close-up angles that you only see and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. You start preparing for that. And they're creatively shooting around it. And then they show it and you're just like, oh, God.
No, not so much final form.
No.
You know, but...
that was pretty fucked up, too.
It was fucked up, but I mean, like... what you could see when they originally took them upstairs, but especially when they were on the couch downstairs, like when after the initial
when they
kind
were
of
just
incident.
whispering and
right before they were speaking or saying anything or even responding.
Yeah.
When it showed her lapping up the water with her tongue.
Oh God, that was weird.
I was just like. This is definitely Lovecraftian. I see the body horror. I got the Lovecraft. Mm-hmm. Like,
he's got the...
I can endure this for a little longer, and then he cuts it. Gives you a break.
Yeah. No, his pacing was really well done. There's a couple scenes that was just like, this is going a little long. Or the opposite, where it was like, I wanted more of that. Thankfully, it was more of that than the other way around, which is a good thing. Like, especially with this type of thing, where you don't...
law of diminishing returns.
Yeah. You want them to want more. Mm-hmm. The moment you give them more, they're not happy.
Right. Less is more.
Mm-hmm. So, but, yeah, I was very, very happy with this. I know he's doing the Dunwich Horror next, which is going to tie into this. And then he's supposed to do another one after that ties into it. And he's trying to build like a cinematic universe, but he's starting with this trilogy. But I'd be all for a Lovecraft universe.
Well, like I said, or maybe I didn't. Visually, I liked it. Mm-hmm. I liked the color of the color.
Yes, that was really cool. Would you call it indescribable?
No.
Yeah. And that was kind of the one thing that, like, how do you portray the color out of space?
It was prismatic, or had prismatic qualities to it, but the color itself is a definite shade of magenta, a more pinkish magenta.
Yeah.
But I liked its color.
Oh, yeah.
I liked the prismatic effects that they showed sometimes. So
no, definitely. It looked very good. I just... because
It's an impossible task. How do you create something that's indescribable? You can't. Because how are you going to describe to someone what you're looking for in the movie? I want you to make it look like indescribable. I'll get right on that. Should I solve cold fusion while I'm at it for you this afternoon? I'll go create something that's... while I'm at it, I'll create something that's both immovable.
I see what you mean, but there's, like... You could shoot it in black and white and get around that. There's ways to do that where it's just like, okay, like... You can't do that, but alright, so we're going to change how we're going to present this. Because I was just like... Because even he... Like, I wouldn't have had a problem with it if they had just changed that from the source material. But the fact that he, like, even the characters are just like, yeah, I can't really describe the color. It's, like, something I've never seen before. That's
You've never seen anything that's kind of pink and purplish? You know, like...
That's where I have the issue with it. And it was just like, okay, if you were going to actually have them say that, and you're showing the color... It needs to be something that you happen to find a way to create. But since that's near impossible, you gotta shoot in, like, all in grayscale or something like that, or like something much more different to hide that scene so that it's just light that you're seeing. But other than the color, like, because I did enjoy the color, it looks really cool. I created a cool vibe and everything.
I like that most of the things that were not mutations were pretty. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a pretty color. It's an enticing color,
which makes sense.
It's nice to give evil that sweet appearance.
If you even call it evil,
right?
Like,
I mean. Right, in that mythos, those things just are what they are.
Yeah, it's like a seed.
Right.
It's just doing what it does.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, no, I really enjoyed that.
Cage, good performance. Everybody, good performance.
Oh yeah.
The cutting of the finger scene, I was kind of like, whoo.
I knew something was coming, but I was figuring it was just gonna be like the tips, like just.
You were fingering.
But like yes, but I figured it was just gonna be like, you know, the nips of the tip of the finger or something like that. I did not expect the whole
first full knuckle.
Yeah.
I was like, woo.
And then she still kept chopping, and then it was just like, oh. Yeah, that was good. I really enjoyed the mom upstairs monster at the end. I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it.
I thought it would have been more dramatic had he done it when he was originally going to do it.
I agree. But then you wouldn't have had that big monster.
I'm okay with not having the big monster. And there's no big monster in the source material, and somebody still dies up in the attic. So,
yeah.
I don't need there to be a big monster for there to be a death.
But didn't he put his family in the farm shed, like where the alpacas were? Isn't that what he killed in the story? Which was his family there?
But one of the brothers or something dies in one of the attic rooms, starves to death.
Okay. That's right.
So there is somebody who dies in an attic without there being a monster. Mm-hmm. That's even scarier. That's that Seven style death by starvation.
Well, even like 10 Cloverfield Lane, the film was 1,000 times more scary with just John Goodman. The moment John Goodman left the film and we had an actual monsters and alien invasion and stuff in our alien invasion monster movie, I was so much less scared.
Oh yeah,
I was scared of the vulnerable human that was old and like couldn't barely chase the character down if she really got a chance to go. Like it was just like, wow, okay,
right,
yeah.
I'm with you. But I mean,
this one, everybody is very good. Nick Cage, really, really good here.
I like this performance better than Mandy.
Oh yeah, I agree. I thought Mandy's just a weird film, but I enjoy it and it's very artistic, and I enjoy the sort of cinematography and all that kind of stuff that I appreciate it for. But it's not a film that I'm like, oh, I can't wait to watch Mandy again. It's more of a, oh, you haven't seen Mandy? Oh, let's toss on Mandy.
Right.
That's what it is.
Oh, you want to watch something? You see 8mm? You know, would you like to combine that with a 70s demon movie? Let's watch this. Like, oh, that's not what I wanted to watch tonight. I thought I had suggested Sandlot.
Well, then how about Drive Angry, where it's basically the demon killing 70s subplot, but you also have a demon worshipping cult, and you also have a 3D action movie film from the early 2010s.
Right. So, Color Out of Space.
Yes.
Where would you rate that in other Lovecraftian genre? If you're going to throw In the Mouth of Madness as one of
actual
those,
adaptations, or inspirations included.
Right.
Are you
things that are very overtly Lovecraftian?
The Thing and Alien?
No.
Okay. Stephen King's works, which are like.
Sure.
Like Pennywise and stuff like that is all directly inspired.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Of adaptations.
Do you think it's a good one? Do you think, like what two movies would you say it falls between? We'll just narrow it down to that.
Okay. All right.
Give me one thing that would be above it and one thing that would be below it.
I would put this. I would put Reanimator above this, and I would put From Beyond below it.
Okay.
It's very high up there for me.
Wow.
Yeah. No, this hit all the points I was looking for it to hit. Like, acting was very good. Like, cinematography was very good. Like, I really enjoyed this film.
Nice.
What scale 1 to 10? What would you rate it?
Scale 1 to 10. I'm gonna go with a solid 9.
9? Yeah.
I like I said, I don't really find faults, like any faults with the movie are nitpicking, but that still makes it not perfect. There's nothing that's going to be perfect, but I was totally enthralled in the movie. I didn't want to walk out of the room. I didn't want to pause it. What's next? Like you were talking about, I never got. There were a couple times, sure, you got a little too much, but for the most part, I wasn't getting a full meal. You were giving me a spoon each scene. Oh, that tasted good. Oh, that's gone. But it was not in this bad, Rise of Skywalker way.
No.
It was like, because it was all the same story. It was just, oh, you gave me a good scene, but you didn't overstay your welcome.
Right.
Okay, another good scene. And it didn't overstay its welcome. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. And creature effects all really good. Most of the practical effects were awesome. The CGI was all right, I would say. I would say that, the powers, like the effects coming off of the
like out of the well.
Yeah, and stuff like that. I loved all that. But it was more of like the CGI monsters and stuff like that and creatures that I was just like, that doesn't look the best. But everything else, I really enjoyed all of it.
Yeah, like the praying mantis itself, I was just kind of like,
Yeah.
The artwork on it isn't so great, but I agree with you. The effects coming out of the well, things like that. Thought it was really good.
Yeah. For me, I give it an 8 out of 10. I'm just a hair below you, but I still really enjoyed it. I just had a couple little faults with it. But would highly recommend this one. Yeah. And second one's already confirmed. Yeah, Dunwich Horror is already confirmed. Should be well, our last article I read on this was before COVID started, when it was, and they were about to go into production. So
things I'm sure have changed on the production schedule for that.
please watch this. I believe right now Shudder is picking up the license. I saw a bunch of ads for it on Shudder recently. But if you guys have that, check it out on there. It's definitely worth watching. If you don't, find another way to pick it up. Like, this is a fucking good movie. Thanks all for watching. That's gonna wrap this up. If you have not subscribed, please do. Definitely gonna help out the channel. And give this video a like if you enjoyed this content. But where does this film rank for you in Lovecraft adaptations? Let me know down in the comments. And hope you all stay safe. Bye, y'all.